and then there's never any real accountability for it. And like the problem is that basically if you don't have accountability for risky behavior, you're going to have people that take more risks. I mean, logically, right? And so I think this is a great example of that. And I think it's also it's true on a macro level as well.
The one you were talking about the other day or something.
This isn't something that's like unique to California. Like California, like
no?
I think that I'm gonna be real. So like we didn't have anything remotely as bad as this in Texas, but a few years ago we had a freeze that effectively shut the state down because like we didn't have the infrastructure and there were certain things that weren't paid for. I think that we should have done the same thing to the guys here in Texas. There should have been an investigation into it. Figure out who the fuck it was that was, you know, getting kickbacks for not investing into this or doing anything, and then put them in fucking jail. Like, get rid of them. Like, how are we even letting this happen? Ted Cruz? Ted Cruz wasn't even the problem, I don't think. Ted Cruz is a senator, but like, I'm talking about the people that are running the systems themselves. Like Ted Cruz, he shouldn't have done that. It was bad. But like, I don't think the mayor of Los Angeles needs to go to jail for this necessarily, but the people that are in charge of these departments probably do. Does that make sense? It's like the actual people who are making, who are performing the actions.
Gallons of water, and there's millions of those that are just rolling off into the ocean when they could be captured in cisterns. They could be, we'd have an ecosystem of hoses and safety measures that can keep all of these homes and people in these homes safe, and for some reason they choose to do none of that. And at some point it goes beyond just whoopsie. At some point it goes beyond negligence. There's something that's almost criminally intentional about this. Like, what are they doing? I don't know.
So you mentioned criminal intent, and you mentioned criminal negligence.
If it's like,
because California can build anything. I mean, look at Silicon Valley, look at Hollywood. If they want to do something, California can do it. But you haven't built a single reservoir in 10 years? You're just letting water run into the Pacific?
Yeah, exactly.
Because of what?
I think if they can get it done sooner
Does
than
anybody
later,
care
though,
about the smelt fish?
I think once the interest gets down enough that
I mean, listen,
it's going to be a good show.
I think that both can be true. I think we can care about the smelt fish and we can care about our environment and also be able to value human life.
He's right. He's completely right. We don't want to, like, obviously human life has to come at a higher priority than a fish.
It's not the right way to say it.
Of course it does. But it's never a good thing to make a species extinct.
No, but it'll be better for them too, though, because
and
then they'll have more
wonderful cities and civilizations that we have built, and find some kind of a balance in all of that. Even still, with the smelt, there's no reason why we couldn't have safeguards to prevent what is going on right now. This is just, it's absurd. But I would say at the end of the day, you know, like I said, I don't know if there's criminal intent. I have no idea why they are doing or not doing the things that they are doing, but they must be held responsible. This is not good leadership.
He's right.
I mean, listen, you know, this is the man who, in the middle of the pandemic, when people were being locked up for going and gathering together, he was at French Laundry.
And they'll be like how we were. Like me, I wish I had my time back, because, like I said it to Shannon too, I'm like, really, realistically, like I almost wish I did what my mom said and waited another year. But then when I think about it, like realistically, is like I don't want to live with you. I don't want to live with my parents. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like another. But I think I said to Shannon, I think if we did wait another year, we'd probably have been better off in regards to what house we bought.
But hindsight's 20/20.
It is. At least I'm not paying rent. So you just look at it like, and I still, it's not like I don't like this place, but sometimes I get a little bummed because it's like, oh, like could have got more for your money, or it's like you rushed into it and ripped yourself off, right?
But
same time too, something could happen and you could just fix everything here through insurance if you had to, right? I don't know. It's got a lot of potential.
Like if you started off by adding that.
Oh, you can't add. Like you and Shannon.
No, I don't mean that. As a new build, and then this part comes down.
Oh, I see. Build a spot to live in while you do this.
Yeah. So you start off with your your primary bedroom, your bathroom, then like you don't even need the kitchen.
Yeah. I do it. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, though, you almost want it to be like, it's got to be like true, right? Like you know more than me because all the shit you're at. And all that, like how hard stuff is when it's true. And like I know all the walls here and everything, it'll never be true without rebuilding the whole house. But like to fix the floor is like, you want to start here, or either or. I feel like it's easier if you had all the floor out of it.
Yeah, and I
Then it's like you can like
if you did that, like I don't even know if you could do it. Like how would you start? Where would you start?
I would just cut a hole in the floor and just start. I'd rip everything out. All I would leave is the edges. I wouldn't lift that. Like you're never gonna
find the high part of the house and work from there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like you almost need all the floor out of it, or else you're gonna wind up trying to match,
that's what I'm saying.
right?
You need to find the high,
I think the highest spot would be there
the
in
high
here.
part, and then work from there.
Even if you didn't like truly fix it, but you somewhat corrected it, you would still have a better, more solid floor for the duration of living here. But it's like if you're going through all this work, you don't want it to be still half up, right?
Because to build a house is not that expensive.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
expensive.
But if you do like private builders and stuff, still, my mom's friend runs custom homes. Right?
Yeah, if you did a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the help you can get
Well, it's like the mentality with my garage, which I'm not going to do right now. But I can prep everything and do everything, even before the concrete, because I can admit that I'm not going to be able to deal with it and work it fast enough in the time that it's here. Like, I can admit that. I'm not lying. I mean, I can get by and I can make it look decent, but, you know, you're going through all the trouble, but it's the same idea. It's like, luckily...
You could dig the trenches.
Yeah, I do everything else, prep it all, and then you just save money that way. But luckily I know people who do that type of shit. But in regards to like building fucking houses and that, the only reference I have is my pop's house. Like my pop's house is my parents paid 17 grand, but that's also a different place, but it's a place that shit's more expensive. But buddies will give you, right? The long story short, they got the whole floor done. It was the whole one side of the house, all the bedrooms, bathrooms, renovated, 17 grand. I mean, that's not really horrible, right? Well, see, I don't think it's, I wouldn't go that route unless it's like, I don't think. I think the only way it would be worth it is if we're fortunate. Like if we can't, like right now, like even Shannon want to put in this glass door, I think it's fucking retarded. The floor is so cockeyed, it ain't gonna work.
Well, it's funny because I was thinking about that. Like you're not going to be able to put that door in.
Yeah. And not only that, it's no good. Because the floor's fucked. And then it's like if it winds up where there's a time where, say, you decide, okay, we are going to fix all this shit and stay here. Now you got to rip the door out. It's like kind of, well, Shin's fucking do her. Like, you know, her, it's like, oh, you're just saying that because you don't want to do it. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, but what I'm saying is shit like that, like that's like obviously it ain't gonna work out. Like here's it for you, then it's like okay, right? I could, as long as we could sell the house enough to break even and get a down payment, or even not, obviously that's ideal, right? It'd be ideal to get the down payment in the process of selling. But it's like if you can't sell enough and make enough for the down payment, then it's like just wait till you have a little more paid down on your mortgage or whatever. But then if the market changes again, you might be back in the same scenario where you're making under and it's not worth it. But the way I feel, yeah, the way I feel about it though is like the glass door, for example, and like everything, like what that guy we met with, the realtor, he's like, everything you guys have done, like keep doing it, but in regards to like big stuff, he's like, don't do it because you're not going to recoup the cost, right? So like, for example, that glass door, we have it and whatever, but it's not going to be right. We're going to have to change all the plumbing, change all the wiring, whatever, right? Which is all completely fine. The way I kind of think is like, I almost want to go into the spring with just trying to clean up my garage, clean up the backyard, and then like you say, if all of a sudden, holy shit, the market's gone nuts, then it's just a matter of like, you know, Shannon's got the house half decent all the time, in my opinion. I know you guys are like, oh, you gotta clean up, but to me it's always happening, right? Then if you get, then it's like, but if we start getting into like cutting out the walls to get ready to put in the door and all this, it's like, and not only that, the door's not gonna look right. No matter what you do without fixing that floor. Exactly, like it won't fit in the jam. And even then, that window has to be true-ish. But like you would have to cut it out. Like we were kind of hoping that, okay, it's the right height and that. Then you cut out the window, and then now you have your height, and you just frame it out to the door. It's not like a normal built wall. Like it's like opening a can of worms again. So I almost feel like it makes more sense to just save, not do anything drastic. You know, like put it. What I would probably do if we could sell and do well enough, I'd just go buy. And if I gotta stay at your house, I'll just be in my I know that. I know. But I also think of it too, like the cats and everything, and like not only that, right? That's something I want, regardless. So like in a perfect world, if we sold the house, made enough money to have a down payment, and make a little bit extra, then I would just go buy like a half-decent camper, pull it with a truck. You know what I mean? Put everything you need in there for the time being, and then just when you find a house, buy it. And the worst part of it would be buying and then having to put our shit somewhere until we buy it. I think we were talking about Travis or staying at your house. Yeah. And we did do, like, well, you guys, like, you did a lot, you know? Like, it's just little things, like, okay, it's still fucked up, but the shower pan, the tile, and the fucking vanity thing, and the wash tub, like, without necessarily breaking the bank, right? Exactly. And yeah, that was like that's you know, it's ideally what they want to do, but there's like, you know, I don't expect them to do their retirement. Not only that is like that's also on, you know, what you get. Right? Like if you say they, you know, got $1 million or 1.1, that might be realistic. If they get, you know, it might not be realistic, right? But they'll never see us in a jam. But Yeah, I'm actually streaming this right to the internet.
Are you?
Yeah, but yeah, we're not saying whatever. But don't say anything. It's like, well, actually, here, hold on. Let's do this. No one watches this shit anyway, but I just enjoy doing it.
Are you serious? You've been streaming all this?
relic of chaos, it seems.
I guess we'll find out.
Having dinner with his friends. What does that say about the character of this man who is doing nothing to help the people of California? I don't believe that he is. I don't believe that he is. And so I think that there needs to be some kind of, you know, accountability that's held to the leadership, not just of California, but...
He's completely right. He is. He's totally fucking right.
Also of our nation, you know. I mean, listen, there are people still in eastern North Carolina that are still climbing out of the rubble of the hurricane that totally ravaged all of them in Florida and North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yeah.
That's still happening, and FEMA completely dropping the ball there. What's going to happen now with Southern California? Is FEMA going to be there? By the way, one of the things that is almost most criminal in all of this, I don't know if you know this, but like 70% or so of the insured in Southern California that used to have fire insurance in their home months ago, this insurance was taken away. The insurance company said, no, we're not going to offer fire insurance anymore. What else? They don't need flood insurance. They need fire insurance. This is a fire hazard. Of course, that's the insurance.
Well, they want to sell you fire insurance in Florida and flood insurance in California.
Yes.
I wonder why. It's a fucking mystery.
Keep your eyes.
They need and that they want. And just months ago, this was stripped from people. Like, this is not okay. It is not okay in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm hearing that State Farm yanked their coverage because the regulators in California wouldn't let them raise rates. So now millions of people don't...
And you can't blame State Farm for that. You shouldn't expect State Farm to martyr themselves and say, we're going to lose a bunch of money on premiums that we know will cost us millions. You can, but I feel like you can't, though, right? That doesn't really make sense. So, like, if you can't sell a product at a price that you can make money on, how can you exist? You can't. It would destroy the whole system. And the only other way that you can exist, and I'll give you the solution, actually, is that you raise the rates of everybody else in the entire country to offset the fact that you can't raise the rates on people in California. So now you have people that are in much worse economies who are subsidizing rates and wages, not wages, but insurance premiums in California. That's it. Inflation in a nutshell. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? You State Farm, there is no other option that they could have taken. There's nothing that they could have done. Different states are unrelated premium. That's the reason why they couldn't do it. That's my whole point.
Have fire insurance, and they've lost their homes and have nothing. And you're right. You mentioned North Carolina. Remember the Maui fires? Still devastation.
Yeah, I know.
And they were staying in 5-star luxury resorts, FEMA was. So we expect more, we expect better, we expect dignity and confidence in the United States of America. That's not too much to ask. I know there's been a recall in California, but there might have to be something else to hold Gavin Newsom accountable. A trial, a public humiliation, because if this isn't enough to step down as governor, if you have a little honor, I think that's what it calls for.
I think that they're right that there should be a trial for it, and to see if these things were actually being listened to or taken seriously or not. Like, that's a huge thing. And yeah, look at this. This is fucking crazy. Like, I don't think this is entirely a result of climate change. It's easy to say that climate change didn't make this better, but like, holy shit, this is insane. Yeah, Bernie post. Yeah, no, and also, like, so I'm the kind of guy, I'm actually very much a climate change believer. Like, I totally am. I'm just saying that, like, this is, I think that there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, right? You can't say remove the coverage at any time. It must be after the coverage is due for renewal. You'll receive a different contract with an amendment. The way that this is worded is like everyone lost their coverage right away. At least in Canada, that's not how it works. Well, I don't know what Canada does for insurance. I have no idea. But like, all I'm saying is that you can't expect a company, like a business cannot operate like a charity. If a company makes less money than it's getting, then the company ceases to exist and everybody who's using the service loses. So if your system is that State Farm needs to make this money, and like also in some cases, like the company does take too much money, it fails. Yeah, it fails, it falls apart. Like it just can't exist. You're talking about nonprofits? I am. Like State Farm is not a nonprofit. You just correct on an insurance thing. If you want money, more info, you can pull me up. Licensed CA insurance agent. No. I have no doubt that like that's probably true, and maybe State Farm did something wrong. But what I'm saying is that fundamentally, if they can't charge a premium that they know that they can make money off of, or that they know they will come out ahead with, they cannot exist as a business. Like this is just, it's just math. If you pay $100 to make $90, if you do that enough times, you run out of money. No fucking shit. Same thing happened in Florida and no one was bad. Really? Because I think I talked about this. I feel like I said the exact same thing in Florida. I did. Yeah, I feel the exact same way, man.
And do you believe that federal aid should be provided in California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Losin to allow water to come. We have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called the smelt. And for the sake of the smelt, they have no water. They have no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles, which is a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side. And he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So
we gotta go kill those fish, boys. We gotta get rid of them. Yeah, give me like a hammer and like a spear. We gonna go get them. We gotta shut this down, man. Hey, yo, fuck that fish.
It's a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true.
I actually think that's a good point. Yeah, if you got a bunch of people living in $10 million houses, like I know that there's actually like 3 or 4 girls that I know that do OnlyFans, and they left California because of taxes.
True tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they get millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him. When he was governor, we worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem, because you're talking about big, big dollars.
Well, they're not having a problem because they just roached the fuck out. That's what it was. Yeah, they just roached out.
A pro challenger.
That's it.
I talked to a fireman once. This is one of the reasons it freaked me out. And he was telling me,
this was in July of 2024.
He goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean, and there's not a fucking thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through LA, and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. Because these fires are so big, dude. When they're talking about like thousands of acres that are burning simultaneously with like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And the wind's just blowing embers through the air, and those embers are landing on roofs, and those houses are going up, and they're landing on bushes, and those bushes are going up, and everything's dry. And once it happens in a way where it's so spread out that there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
You just have to evacuate, right?
Nothing they can do. I talked to a fireman once. This is one.
That's fucking insane, man. Holy shit.
Are you ready?
Yeah, well, there it is. And he knew a little too much? Yeah, I guess so. The Requiem for a Dream music?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Can you touch on the insurance companies reaching out, please? I just got here. I mean, there's not really a lot to say with the insurance companies. It's just the fact that the... let me see if I can find it real quick and pull this up. Yeah, where the fuck is this? Trending. Damn, it's not even the top one. Where the fuck is it? Okay. Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, the insurance companies moved out of California in some cases with, like, the fire insurance because they couldn't charge a high enough premium to make it worth it for them. It's pretty simple, right? I mean, if that's my understanding of it, at least. Yeah, holy fuck, man. This shit just got torched. Oh my god. Wow. So it was before, right? Yeah, the risk was too much. Yeah, exactly. The rates were too high for them to stay. Yep. Oh, this is Gavin. Oh, there he is. This is the guy.
Next time, avoid that.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants.
Yeah, so like, what's going on, man?
They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
Look. I mean, shit.
Folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system where it's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
What is?
Yeah, so he says, look, man, like, I mean, shit. Fires are breaking out in East California, getting close. Radio towers right now. Yeah, and my understanding is like this shit's still going on right now. So this is in Los Angeles? Oh my god. Holy, yeah. Like, this is not AI or some shit. I don't think it is AI. That one guy. Oh my god.
Sure, things will be different
Jesus.
this time around.
Yeah, Gamba RNG, I guess so, right? The roof? Yeah, I guess so. Holy fuck. Roll the net 20? Yeah, I guess so. Look at all those pools and everything. The trees knocked over. Oh my god. Dude, this, like, if I see this, this is like, you ever play like an RTS game and you get like your base attack while you're downstairs, like eating dinner, and you come back up and it's just like this. It's like everything's fucking destroyed. A nuke? Yeah. It's like you played StarCraft against Terran and they dropped 3 nukes while you weren't paying attention. Holy fuck, man. Looks devastating, yeah. Wow. That's just, yeah, it's just really fucking, oh my god. Jesus Christ. There's like probably another cascading effect that like this is gonna have. I bet it's probably gonna hurt a lot of people that have respiratory problems over there too. Like, so you're probably going to have, like, the social services and health services that get overwhelmed as a cascading effect. So, like, yeah, air quality is fucked there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is insane. Remember, this might be bad and getting a lot of news because of LA, but it literally happens every year in California. I feel like this is, there's a lot, right? I mean, this is not just, like, you're right, it happens a lot, but it's not like this. Yeah. This like straight up like fucking like some kind of like apocalypse movie or something. It's mostly because of bad forest management and wrong foresting over time. They cut down the entire forest and replaced it with limited diversity of the same genetic trees. Any pest will kill off or dry out an entire forest. The lack of ecosystem and layers in a normal forest, it's artificial. I think that it's probably, like, if you want my completely, like, I don't know what I'm talking about opinion, I think it's probably the majority bad management. I think part of it is bad RNG. And I think that there's like a 10 or 20% component of climate change that basically acted as a multiplier effect of the negative effects of those bad actions. That's basically what I think it probably is. Like, if you ask me, like, what do you think it is? That's probably what I would guess. Something like that. Yeah, it seems reasonable. Oh, the Jewish space lasers. Yeah, it could also be. I don't think it is though. Yeah. Oh, lasers in the sky. Watch. Oh, yeah. Here we go. And so, yeah, this is. There's a fire that's erupting from energy beams. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's definitely what's going on. And, yeah, definitely. Let's see if I can find any more of these. And, of course, obviously, there's tons of people that are getting killed. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but yeah. Most expensive properties in Malibu. So these are all the waterfront homes. Oh, my God. That used to be a house. That's like a $5 million, $4 million house right there. Damn. 50? No shot, really? Fuck. I mean, to be fair, I mean, let's be reasonable just for a second here. The real value there is the land. They can build another house on this for a couple $1 million.
We are only getting started.
The value's the land, but like, man, that's terrible. Who's gonna pay for all this damage? Mexico. They're gonna have to pay for it. Look at this. Greenland? It's a good idea. Yeah. There you go. The risk of this happen devalues the property? Yeah, it does. Look at that. They're like one of those staircase things. That's like a rust base. And this one just is this one's just fine.
Outlive my expectations.
So this is what they used to look like. God damn. That's what this fucking audio. Holy shit. Turn this down. And they're just trying to, like, basically stop it from spreading, I guess. Yeah, because, well, yeah, I guess they got it controlled here. Damn, I didn't realize you're watching the Fallout TV show today. Yeah, same. I didn't realize it was this bad.
Maybe next time, avoid that one.
Isn't this TOS streaming a TV show? Yeah, for real. Look at that. Wow. Imagine being that homeowner. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even imagine that. That's insane. Holy fuck, man. So the home being rented by Hunter Biden is burned down. Man. This reminds me of the end of Office Space, where like now all the evidence is destroyed.
That guy? Some pretty things, yes?
Yeah, it's like you know, like yeah, there's no way to know. You have no idea, and everything is just Milton burned it down. I guess so. Holy shit, man, that's what started it. I guess so. Let's see. I find a few more of these. Oh, they got all the little dogs and shit in here. Oh god.
Getting ready to go to the hotel.
Look at all the floofy boys.
Everybody, make sure to clean your pets.
Yep.
And just praying for everyone's safety.
Got all the puppers. Yep, look at them all. You know what's really funny about these is getting woken up at 2 in the morning because this one wants to make a really loud sound for no reason. Yeah, that's a really funny thing about having a dog like that. Yeah, just out of fucking nowhere for literally no reason. We're gonna like, we're gonna just say, hey, wake up, bitch. Rat ass dogs. Yeah, no, I like those little dogs. They're cute and nice, but they can also be fucking annoying. Let me see if I can find any more of this. California waffle. Yeah, what is this? So have they got it under control at all?
Offering a message of strength.
Today, you know, it's kind of hard to keep it together because our life is gone. It's not gone. We're alive. We're fortunate, but our home is nothing there but the chimney. You know,
0% containment.
And so many others, all our neighbors.
So it's actually just still all burning down.
Everybody, the memories. Altadena's a special place.
Why is he wearing a mask?
I hope we bounce.
Because there's so much like this. That's a smart guy. He's a really smart guy for wearing this. Obviously, he needs a walker, which means that he probably might have respiratory or like.
Howdy. Yeah. Oh, very good. How much stuff you got tomorrow? 'Cause I was just playing the game and I thought to myself, like, fuck, what if I gotta clean the whole car out? So what you got is it could just go on my back seat, can it? Okay. Okay. Alright, I won't worry about it, just because my trunk's like full of work shit. Hard hats and tubes of grease and tools and shit, right? Alright, I won't worry about it then. I just flip the seat up. Alright. You can call me later if you want. Alright. Bye.
Cardiological problems, and so it's to avoid having any of the particles from the smoke get into his lungs. And I mean, like, I guess also he's old as fuck. I mean, look at his hair, bro. Like, this is some Gandalf the White hair. Like, it's not gray hair. This is white hair.
It's back. You know, it's going to be a hard process, a slow process, but I hope we bounce back. We will. It's just going to take time, you know?
Yeah.
It's just going to take time.
And I know, like you were saying, this is emotional for you too because of your cancer journey. You've been through a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I was diagnosed with cancer in the middle of August. I spent 3 weeks in a hospital. I couldn't use my legs at all. And
what the fuck?
7 weeks in a nursing facility and some great PT people. I'm now on a walker. And
good for
God
him.
Willing, in a couple months I'll be walking again. So
good for him,
it's
man.
It's just like a big one too, you know. And but I'm fortunate because I'm here. I have my wife. We have some great friends who are really helped us out. And
yeah.
And I'm wishing that for everyone. You'll get through it one day at a time, you know. Excuse me.
That man must feel so overwhelmed. I just want to give him a hug. My goodness, he's already been through so much, and then this on top of it.
It really is. And there's so many stories like that too, you know? That's just one story. There are many stories like that. Maria, actually, I do want you to talk about this because I noticed a lot of people saying, hey, the wind has stopped. It's not blowing as hard. Why are there still fires? Can you please speak to that?
Well, okay, so there's many reasons why there are still fires, right? A lot of that falls on the firefighters. Of course, they have still a lot of wind to contend with. It may not be windy where you are, but certainly as you get up higher and higher in the atmosphere, it gets windier and windier, and that affects how they attack this fire, whether it's the helicopters or fixed-wing aircraft or none at all. There are all of that to consider, but also the winds are going to go up and down. Okay, if it's not windy where you are right now, it very well could be in the next hour or so. As we take a wide look outside right now, I just want to point out the contrast of temperatures. It is winter, and look at the 20s and 30s and some wintry weather across parts of the deep south. Here in the southwest, warmer with those temperatures.
Yeah, this is nuts. Let me see if I can find some more of this shit.
This wind, the Santa Ana wind, is still with us. Not as strong as the last couple of days. That is the good news. I like saying these numbers because it is hopefully helping and...
It's just some bullshit.
I'm seeing and I have hope that the house is going to be in good shape and standing.
So we know that you're about 4 doors north of Moon Shadows, and as we reported yesterday, unfortunately, Moon Shadows is one of the many places that was lost, but you have hope to believe, based on video that you've seen, that there are a few houses there that are standing, including yours and some of your neighbors. Have you spoken to anybody who lives near you?
So I spoke to both my neighbors, one to the left and one to the right of me. I shared the video that I saw online yesterday, which looked like our homes are
Rogan's house is gone?
Still standing.
Is that it?
But nobody got confirmation that it is. So we said whoever knows first will let the other know. But we're all praying that our houses are still standing.
Living right there on the ocean, and you've been there about 5 years, you said, did you ever dream that your house,
holy shit,
people
man,
who are right there on the ocean, never thought that theirs might be taken down in a fire like this
He lives
because
in
you don't
Texas?
live in the
No, he
hills
probably has
with
a
lot
house
of
in Texas.
vegetation and all
People
that,
probably
but
saying
with
he has a
winds
house in
like
LA.
this-
There's a good chance he has a house there.
Never would I thought that we'd be this type of situation. It's just horrible. Especially
I mean, they could just be making it up too.
ocean
Like, I
front.
don't know.
I have no idea how the fire jumped and got into moon shadows and burned it down. It's just horrible. I've been there for so many years. I mean, I go there a couple of times a week. It's horrible to see it go. And horrible for, I feel bad for all the people that lost their homes. And I'm hoping I'm not one of them, but, you know, I got to be prepared for the worst.
Well, Alex, I hope you get some good news, and I thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you. Thank you. So, you guys, the fire continues to burn up there on the hillside behind me. We haven't seen the super scoopers dropping
Holy shit.
in that area.
So it's been going on for over a day.
Into the hills. And just to
So
point
people are
out,
just saying that because the
air
guy looks like
quality,
Joe
as you know,
Rogan.
is so bad today.
Yeah.
Most people are wearing masks, and the
That's
other
smart.
thing that we're noticing is more and more people coming in on bicycles, on Lime bikes, on Lime scooters. They're trying to make their way into the area to get answers. People are desperate to find out whether their homes are standing. So people know that they cannot, necessarily get their cars past these roadblocks, so they're trying to use other means to get inside here to try and find out whether they have anything left. That's the latest live in Pacific Palisades. I'm Michelle Gili. Back to you.
We can certainly understand all of those folks' frustration out there. Michelle Gili, thank you so much.
All right, we want to get back to the Eaton fire now. Our Joy Benedict is live in Sierra Madre at, I guess, Star Touch and Carriage
It seems like
Drive.
it's dialed down
Joy,
at least a little bit.
This is a residential street.
Yeah, at least they're not showing any more like crazy fires like
We are
before.
very close to the hillside right now, where the Eaton fire continues to burn up in the hillside. But I want to show you this street. As we mentioned, this is Startage Street. We have several homes that are unfortunately gone here
It's
on
over?
this
I'm not
street.
sure.
Probably about
I don't think it
4 or
is.
5 that I see on the south side of the roadway. If you want to take a look at all of these homes, as you go across the street here closer to Carriage Drive, we also have some home that is burned, and that seemed to be the last one, as the rest of them here, as you're heading in the westbound direction, seem to be still standing, and that is really good news, especially for Bernard and Lucy, who live here right on the corner. They lost one home directly to the east of their home, but the one on the west, and their home is still standing. And hi, thank you so much for taking a second to chat with us. How are you guys doing?
We're incredibly lucky. We're incredibly grateful. We could tell when we got here yesterday morning.
Yeah, bro, like imagine the house next to you gets burned down. It's not yours.
Awesome job of fighting back claims from the east side because we could see their hoses. They'd used our hoses. And that was the side that took out our fence. And unfortunately, our neighbor lost their home. But we think that by mitigating, by the fact that we had luckily taken down big pines on that side, big hedge this last year, probably saved us from that side, and also the fact that we really try our best to have the right kind of plant material on our yards to be somewhat fire resistant, but boy, we're just by the grace of God. That's it.
Really, I mean, that seems what it is for so many here in this community. By the grace of God, one stands and one does not.
I do think that if we and also the possibility about this power transformer line up here. It might have went off, probably flamed up our palm trees and
Media hating God.
caused all
Is
the
that
brush
it?
to burn on the back side of our
57
hillside.
billion damage of dollars.
We had a lot of shrub on that side that went all
$1 billion
off, but
of
we have a
damage.
pool, so there was probably some fire break. So fortunately, our home is good.
Now, let me ask you this. You guys did evacuate on Tuesday night. What did it look like when you were leaving, and why did you make that choice?
Well, we'd heard the news that there was a fire in Eaton Canyon.
Damn, what the fuck is this?
So many of you out there have so many questions
Look at
about
that.
insurance, and once the smoke clears, this is going to be What's on top of mind
Holy
for so many
fuck.
victims of these wildfires?
Bro, like-
Insurance issues related to the LA
Yeah, it's
fires
like a
might be top of
volcano.
mind for victims. So let's bring in insurance experts and host of Insurance Hour, Carl Sussman. Carl, Insurance Hour, you are the insurance man of the foreseeable future. There are so many people who are interested in issues like this. Welcome to the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here.
The first question I have for you is if somebody does lose their home or their business, and so many of the people out there who are watching have done this, what's the very first step that they can take because it can get so overwhelming?
Well, the first thing to do, and I tell everybody this, is stop and take a deep breath and exhale, because as horrible as this is, and this is horrible, I'm personally evacuated from my home as we speak.
Yeah, I'd be stressed.
What's important is our loved ones and our bodies and ourselves. And so be happy that you are safe. Be sure you are somewhere safe. The stuff that we left behind, and if the worst has happened and you've lost it, this is what insurance is for. This is why you purchase it. This is why you've been paying for it. And now it's time for the carriers to step up and do what they need to do. The first thing you want to do is take a deep breath. After that, get ready to file your claim. We're telling everyone that you really want to get the claim filed sooner than later.
Jeez.
Even if you don't have 100% confirmation of what it is that's happened, maybe you've been evacuated, you're not 100% sure is your home.
Yeah.
It's not there, which is just the worst feeling. But start the process now. It's
I mean, he's right.
Take the number. You want to get in line. You want to get your claim started.
Yeah, this guy sucks. Well, no, he doesn't suck. He's right.
Be in line, and you'll already be in a position where you can be assigned a claims adjuster, and you can start things moving forward from there.
Yeah.
How much, can people reasonably expect to get from their insurance company after they do file a claim?
Well, depending on the policy they have, some companies
probably between $1 and $0.
A lot of information. They're going to ask you to make lists of things that were damaged, lost. What did you have? Other carriers, it might be as simple as you're going to ask for policy limits.
The chatters act like, yeah, bro. People act like this guy lit the houses on fire.
By line and do that.
He didn't do this.
To be aware of is a lot of these losses will be with the California Fair Plan Association, and they have a very specific script that they have to go through. And I know it can be frustrating. I've been on probably 30 or 40 calls with clients this week, and they'll ask you, was any personal property damaged? And of course you want to scream because you just told them the house is gone. But they have to ask, and they're going to ask you, do you know the cause of the fire? And you sure. Of your hair. Just, again, a little bit of grace, a little bit of patience.
What he's saying is that the people that are working the customer lines are bots. And you just have to go through the NPC dialogue options, even if they're stupid.
Total loss.
That's just how it is.
Get the limits that are within your policy.
Then we talked about
yep. You got to deal with them.
This could be the final straw in fire insurance coverage in Southern California. Already before this, State Farm dropped 70% of its policies in the Palisades alone. That's more than any other zip code.
That's a lot of people.
Because they knew that this area is considered high risk. What are people to do here?
Well, I think that was actually a bit of luck for consumers, as it turns out, because as we know, State Farm is having some serious financial problems. They've actually filed with the Department of Insurance for emergency rate increases because they are claiming they don't have enough money right now to pay their claims. So if they were on the hook for all of those clients in the Palisades, the likelihood of them being able to pay those claims are pretty low. So those people, as frustrated as they were, they are with other insurance companies, and they're in a position where they can likely get those claims handled and get them paid.
I mean, you don't know that.
Expecting at this point.
Yeah, that's a big if.
Department of Insurance has been talking about since September of 2023, if you can believe it. Finally became law in December. So what I think is going to happen is now the industry...
Like a good neighbor, State Farm loots your house while you're at work.
Ridiculous. There's no coming back from this. I think because of the new regulations that are in place, there is a path forward.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm picks up the packages that are left at your doorstep from Amazon Prime and then tells you that they didn't get delivered.
They're going to be reshuffling how they underwrite, how they price, how they discount, all those sorts of things. And areas that are higher risk for fire are going to be higher premiums to pay, and areas that are lower risk for fire are going to be less expensive.
Wow. Thank you. We brought in the expert.
What do you do now?
There we go.
Because so many people who just lost their homes are facing questions.
That's good.
And they have no idea what to do.
Well, what happens is if your home is gone and you need to rebuild,
State Farm stock.
They're called course of construction policies, and there will be companies running around to write those policies, right? They're going to smell the blood and the water, and they're going to say, oh, we can write all this business, right, for course of construction insurance. Now, the Department of Insurance is extremely consumer-friendly, very pro-consumer. They've already issued an edict that says that if you are in any of the wildfire-affected
This is something different.
Then the insurance carrier that you have
5 days. It's going about the same.
Cancel the policy. So you've got a guarantee of 12.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, right? Like, I mean, let's be Machiavellian for a minute here. If you were going to invest in a company that was an insurance company, and you wanted to invest in the one that was going to make you the most money, the one that told a bunch of people that were in fire danger areas to get fucked, and then they just stopped giving them insurance, I would be more confident in investing in them because they're going to do what's important to increase shareholder value. So I feel like, if anything, this is probably going to make State Farm stock go up. I mean, that's just me.
Gigi Gracia joins us from Malibu with the details on 3 active investigations. Gigi, what can you tell us?
That's right. Law enforcement sources confirmed to me they do believe that the remains found in the rubble at this home here on Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu are human, are from someone who lived here, but the medical examiner who just arrived on the scene will make that determination.
Got out of the house.
And this is one of at least 3, possibly 4 different investigations going on simultaneously.
So why is it that people why they stay in their house if they're told to leave? Like, I'm just confused. Like, yeah, maybe they're like an older person. I could see that happening. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Can't move. Yeah.
The human remains were found in multiple locations.
I guess that makes sense, right?
Pacific Coast Highway. We understand now that there were 2 people who lived here. One of them got out, and when that person didn't hear from the other occupant of the home, they called the sheriff's department and asked them to do a welfare check. That welfare check was done, and that is when deputies found what they reported to be human remains. Homicide detectives are here. That doesn't necessarily mean that there is foul play suspected. It just falls under their jurisdiction. We have the medical examiner now. They will make the ultimate determination if the remains are indeed human, and then they'll have to identify who died here at the scene and how they died. I mentioned this is one of
I could guess how they died.
Investigations happening simultaneously over in Altadena at 2 different locations. Human remains have possibly also been found. In one case, firefighters called deputies, telling them they found the human remains in the rubble of a burnt-down house. In another case, deputies were driving by when they were flagged down by a resident who told them they had found human remains. Again, it's
wait, they died from COVID?
We'll have to confirm this, but our sources are telling us, at least here in Malibu, they do believe that the remains found belong to someone who lived in this home, the home that has burnt down. Reporting live in Malibu, I'm Gigi Gracia.
These birds blew now. Oh, yeah.
I do suspect that this will be, especially when you saw the overhead look that Stu was giving us of the Palisades. You don't know what's in those homes, and I have a sneaky.
Yeah, tons of people probably got killed.
Unfortunately, I think you're right in the rubble, which is why
you're probably gonna have a bunch of people that die from like respiratory complications too, in like the coming like month or so. I bet that's what's gonna happen because you got all those old people and shit.
More, unfortunately, bad news to come. We're gonna take a break though. We'll be right back.
Yeah, lung problems. Yeah, that's just what's gonna happen. Yeah, no.
Fox 11 in Los Angeles. There, you were taking a live look.
God damn.
I'll take that. And I've been here my whole life. I don't know anywhere else other than here. Myself and my brother and my son Chase and his other grandchildren. This is where we've been our whole life. And my son tried to get him to leave, and my neighbors and myself. And he said he'll be fine. I'll be here when you guys come back. And he said his house would be here. His house is here, and he was here too. He was in his bed when I found him. Yeah, we found him found. His whole body was there, intact.
His legacy, his grandfather established Nickerson Gardens in Watts, the largest public housing development in LA.
Yes, ma'am. William Nickerson, my great-great-grandfather, his grandfather was the founder and owner of Nickerson Gardens in Watts.
Sad as fuck.
And
Yeah,
then
it is.
from there, he started Golden State Mutual, which still exists on the corner of Western and Adams. And we've been here.
An engineer, I mean, this is an 83-year-old man who leaves behind 45 years of work at Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, he worked at Lockheed Martin for 45 years. He was a project engineer manager. My mom worked at Lockheed. He started at Lockheed. They were in Burbank, and when they
Why
moved
didn't
to
he
Palmdale,
evacuate?
He commuted from here.
I don't know.
Palmdale every day until he retired.
Rodney King
I have no
Nickerson,
idea.
one of, at this point, at least 5 people killed in this firestorm that blew through here Tuesday night. We know cadaver dogs are out there. The Sheriff's Department actually wouldn't even give a number anymore with the people who died. Another man up the street from here on East Loma, also we're hearing passed away in his home, very close to here. I mean, this neighborhood just wiped out. These homes burned to the ground.
Wow.
The neighborhood is completely gone. Blocks and blocks and blocks down. And it's just devastating. It's devastating.
It is. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Your grandson, 25-year-old Chase, was here living with Rodney. Chase said, I'm out of here at 11 p.m. Tell me what happened.
He just kept telling my dad, come on, pack up the car, Papa, come on, let's go. And he was like, I'll be right behind you. And he put some stuff in the car that's still there. And Chase was like, Papa, we gotta go now. And he says, if I need to go, I'll go. But grandson, I don't need to go right now. But I'll be here.
Chase couldn't convince, I mean, it was just Grandpa's gonna stay.
Yeah. And boy, did he stay.
My mom would do the same. I guarantee you my mom do the exact same shit with us.
Yep, 100%. Like, it's so frustrating to deal with people like that. Yeah, they're stubborn. They're gonna just do what they're gonna do.
My dad has been here, continuing on what he's been doing since 1968.
I mean, he wanted to stay in the home that he has lived in for decades.
This is true. And he did just that.
Yeah.
He did just that.
What was the last conversation you had? Was it when he had just told you, I'll be here tomorrow?
I'll be here tomorrow. That was the last thing he verbally said to me was, I'll be here tomorrow.
And you
could not, should have evacuated.
I was far away. Thank
Yeah,
you.
should have fucking evacuated. That's crazy.
Take a look at that.
What a mistake.
Picture there in California. Let's head back out to our partner, the Fox 11 in Los
Yeah.
To another financial crisis. The full cost of recovery is still unclear as firefighters battle, of course, to contain the flames.
Meantime, LA County Sheriff Robert Luna has a sad update to the amount of people accused of looting LA fire victims, and he's ramping up the department's efforts to curb it.
Last night and this morning, we are up to 20 individuals who chose to go into our areas and deprive these poor people who have been through so much of their property. Absolutely unacceptable.
That's really good.
And I'm going to give
What do you mean?
to our department members, as you know, when we have an evacuation.
Yeah, that's tiny. They got caught. That's true.
Area, you are guilty of a misdemeanor. If you commit certain crimes, it could jump up to a felony. I'm going to be asking our employees to start enforcing that. That is very different than a curfew. Why? Because it's 24/7. I don't have to wait for the sun to go down or the sun to come up. If you are in one of these areas and you do not belong there, you are going to be
What's the guy throwing at game signs? So this is called ASL.
After that, newly elected
Not
Los Angeles
age, sex,
County
location,
District
it's
Attorney
American
Nathan
Sign
Hoffman
Language.
echoed the sentiment.
Yeah, that's not those are not gang signs. That's sign language, guys.
If you want to engage in grand theft,
Yeah.
if you want to engage in these internet scams where you're going to take advantage of people who are going to be seeking insurance and government benefits, you will be arrested.